Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander at TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man who Alan Moraines counts to 4, Alan Moraine, then 3 more. Alan Moraine, if you can see Alan Moraine, you follow me! Huh?
How is that related to anything on your desk? I know how this usually plays out.
Commander Cisco is on my desk and he's playing hopscotch.
Okay, that works for me.
That's a lie. There's nothing related
A
to
tiny, living Benjamin Sisko is on the desk, punching me in the face, and God damn it, I deserve it.
Yes, my god. So
Because
good.
if Ben Sisko punches you, you had it coming.
Oh, Mikey, I watched maybe one of the best episodes of DS9, and it was in Season 1 last night.
Which one is the season one?
Duet.
Oh, God. I saw that recently as well.
Isn't that a really fucking good episode?
Like, that's the episode that made you go... Like, the thing is, like, season 1 of Next Gen does not have a stop and blink episode.
No.
Like, season 2 is Measure of a Man, but it's not, like, Duet is just something else.
Yeah.
Duet
Duet's
is just,
fantastic.
like... Oh my god, and the actor, I can't remember his name, but he
is a famous actor as well, isn't he?
Oh, good in it.
Yeah.
And I love that, what's that line? My men used to go out there and they'd murder Bajoran scum and they come back covered in blood. But they'd feel clean. And you know why, Major? Because they were clean. And can you imagine if someone said that to you?
Yeah. But the thing is, you know that he's lying.
Yeah.
And he's horrifically emotionally destroyed.
And like, oh my god, in season 1 of a Star Trek show, we took our cartoon villain and added the layer of maybe there's other elements to this race.
Yep, maybe some of these people weren't bad, but they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you know, what was he going to do?
Yeah, he was a fucking file clerk.
Yeah, he was sitting there.
One file clerk.
And apparently a lot of the lines in here are based on both a movie and real accounts. Like there was a Nazi. He was the head of one of the concentration. I don't think it was Auschwitz, but he was head of one of the concentration camps. And he once wrote down in a book that he couldn't get to sleep because the Jewish people were screaming too loudly.
Yeah.
Like in his case, it was, oh well, I can't get to sleep. And they took that line and modified it for this because it's like he's covering his ear, like he's trying to prove he's the Butcher Galtep, and he's just like Maritza was the weakling covering his ears so he couldn't hear the screaming.
Yeah, such a sad story.
Oh man, and you feel such sympathy for him, and it's just like it was a terrible plan.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have worked. It would have arguably made things much worse.
But he was just like, we have to be punished for what we did, something unbelievably monstrous, and we need to suffer for it. And then at the end, when maybe he can do some good in the world, a racist Bajoran just stabs him in the back, and it's just that wonderful growth moment for Kira of just like, he was Cardassian, it was enough. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because she's got quite a few episodes where she has to deal with, you know, decent Cardassians.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because she has the one where she's thought to be what's her name, Elinara or something like that, the Gull's daughter. Yeah,
and it turns out like yes, he's a Gull. None of them are clean.
Or higher, whatever.
Yeah, but he was actually like one of those decent men in a not exactly clean position.
Yeah, like I don't think it's unfair to say he's probably not clean, shall we say?
No, but he would also
he's not a bad
consider
man
him.
either.
Yeah, he would never consider himself clean, which is why he'd be better than the the Garheels of the world.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh man, this is good. Hey, it turned out Star Trek had some very, very, very good sci-fi.
I mentioned it to Mr. Jason Kirk, and Jason said Odo was kind of slacking, wasn't he? And I went, I mean, yeah, technically he did
Jason,
slack.
come on, man. I haven't talked to you in a week or two, but come on, man.
To be fair, he was slacking because he was only a few paces behind Maritza, while this guy just kind of, who was in the previous day for being a drunkard, and shanked him. So what was Odo doing? My excuse.
Odo handed him the knife.
My excuse was he was daydreaming and he was looking at Kira's ass.
I was just about to say that.
Yep. He didn't. Odo didn't know he wanted a piece of that, but his mind was wandering. He's
just like, sometimes I just find myself watching it. Why am I doing this?
I don't understand. Human mating rituals are stupid.
And over the years, he just went on, I was after the booty.
He's a booty warrior. That's all I can think about, getting booty and more booty. But yeah, I completely forgot Duet was in season 1 because that's a fucking good episode. Oddly enough, the intro, Emissary, is really good. And from what I remember, Hand of the Prophets, which is the season finale, is really good as well.
Yeah, that's when they bring in Captain Bitch a lot.
That's right.
But I like season 1 is ropey. It just is. It has to be because they're trying to be regular Star Trek. That was the mistake.
I think it also suffered just from the fact that you need to have your establishing episodes with setting up your characters, and that sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. I mean, look at Rom. Rom vastly changes from Emissary to Nagus to season 2.
Yeah. Well, massive. Season 2 they were starting to get a. What's the season? There's one episode I love. It is. They're all trapped in the station. They like. Some of them are in like an ore processing section, and the Cardassian security grid goes off.
Oh, that one! Oh, that's I think that's season 2.
Yeah, and I love that one.
That's
largely because it's just like 3. Garrick just going through like Garricking his way through life. Dukat shows up, and there's just this wonderful moment of Dukat telling Kira just like nothing that can't be solved by a good Cardassian mind. And just like, oh, for God's sake, she's not going to fuck you.
Yeah.
She is. This woman is far too intelligent, competent, and interesting to want a bastard like you. Also, we're dying.
Apparently, it seems like the writers might have had an idea to put them together at one point, because there's quite a lot of episodes where they have moments, but I always took them as he had moments, and she was like, oh, he's not a complete asshole, but I don't like him. But apparently it could have been set up for a thing, and I was like, no.
If you told me around season 3 and 4 they were planning to have Dukat do a full turn, I would have believed you.
Oh yeah, totally. Especially when he's flying around in the Klingon bird of prey.
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
But I think taking him down the road they did was much, much better, because again, it's that humanizing element too. We want to imagine the people who did the things they did were utter, unbelievable, emotionally dead monsters. Mm-hmm. And the thing about monsters is that usually they don't stand out in the crowd.
Dukat does.
Well, Dukat does because he's the big monster. But like, if you sit down and you get talking to him, it's really easy to like the guy.
Yes, he's charismatic.
Yeah, except that he could break a child's neck and not regret it if he taught it. He'd tell himself he regrets
justifies it.
Yeah,
he would justify it.
He would say like that baby had to die because 2 other babies might have died instead.
Mm-hmm. Something dark side.
Yeah, something complete.
I heard as well some people didn't like him in season 7 when he became the Power Wraith vessel, and I was thinking about it, and I thought like, it's not the best.
No,
I like the setup for it, like him becoming a religious leader. That was interesting, but then him becoming just a vessel for them was not the best.
I think the problem with that is that Dukat had a very clear exit episode.
Yes,
where he's trapped on the rock with Cisco, and he's just having complete, and it's Dukat finally just admitting that he is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, as much as I love the actor and I love the character, Cisco should have killed him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
that would have been a great exit episode for the character. Just because the power rate stuff, it felt a little bit like really on the side when you're in the middle of the wrapping up the Dominion War. It's just like, by the way, magic space ghosts.
Yeah.
But I can't, it's DS9.
No, I know.
The only thing I can say about season 7 I absolutely hate is that I don't hate it, but Martok wants to have the blood wine and the 2 lads poured on the ground. I'm just like, don't do that to Martok.
How very dare you?
He's a good guy. He meant well. Cultural representation here.
That's right.
Martok's awesome.
I love Martok.
Yeah, Martok's the most realistic Klingon. None of this honor, blah, blah, blah. He's just listen, sometimes you just gotta sit down, have a beer, and relax.
It's true.
Have you seen my wife? She's fantastic. Don't cross her.
You mean Martok's wife?
Yeah.
No, she was very mean. But that's the way he likes it.
Yeah, she let his charm go.
Yeah,
and he was like,
"What a fucking bitch!"
What was it? Over the years, I've won my own fair share of battles, but I understand that by the end, she will win the war.
It's like the Miles Keiko relationship, but if Miles actually put up a fight,
Yeah.
instead of just taking it all the time, going, "Oh my god." Believe it or not, we're here to talk about Transformers this week, but also, believe it or not, me and Mikey might, in fact, really fucking like DS9.
Yeah, also, believe it or not, there's not much Transformers.
No, there's not, so I don't feel too bad in spending just a little bit of time talking about DS9, because it's Mikey, I know we talked about it last week that you went and watched Picard, but I really think to help you go back and just like do what I did. Just even though it's not the best of DS9, start on season 1, and it'll be like I gave you water after you came back from like the desert.
I watched.
It's so good.
I did manage to get a little bit of water from the desert just because it turned out Picard had one decent scene in an episode I haven't seen.
That's more like someone just wrung their sweaty clothes out and you got a little drop on your tongue and went.
But I might make it to the Oasis now.
No, you won't. Not if you keep watching Picard.
Because they just had like, hey, let's just have Riker and Picard hang out.
Yeah.
And that was good because it was just the two characters playing off each other.
Did you hear that?
I'm sure that Picard's going to die. Or not Picard. Riker's going to die horribly next episode. But
I don't think he's going to appear. I think he's gone. I think that's it for them.
Is that how they survived?
Yeah, probably.
We'll do one episode, no more.
Did you hear that Marina Sirtis, Deanna Troi, stole the wig from First Contact, and that's the thing that she's wearing for this episode that she's in?
I heard that. She basically made off and it's like, I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah.
Fair play to her.
I hear a lot of the kind of costuming is just whatever people bring in rather than actually have a costume department, which would make a lot of sense because they look just... I don't want to say trashy, but it doesn't, again, feel Star Trek-y, their look. Granted, we don't need like the outfit that Jake Sisko wore, any of them, because they were fucking monstrosities. Garrick should have been on that and fucking fixed that shit ASAP, but he never
but then
did.
he had to spend time with Jake.
He let the poor boy suffer. That was how he got back at Sisko. He never gave Jake fashionable clothing.
He always told Jake the material was on order.
Mm-hmm. Jake's after all that pussy, and so was Julian. Those boys were thirsty.
I think Julian
boys.
had him beat.
Oh yeah, Blue Balls Bashir is a thing.
Ironically, considering that he impregnated one of the actresses.
Yes, yeah, bit Nana. Bit Kira. Ooh, Nana. Did they get together on set, or was it before?
On set, but it didn't last the series.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought they were married.
They were, but it didn't last.
Oh, no. That's understandable. You should never work with your husband or wife. That's a recipe for disaster. Mikey, Transformers this week. We're going to kick off with... I'm going to leave you the Unicron stuff because you actually have those images. So I'm going to take us on to Magicsquare, taking a leaf out of Hasbro book and going, hey, can we make an Optimus Prime repaint? A new one? Well, yes they can. As they show off the MS-B18T Light of Justice Ghostbuster edition. So it's the Light of Justice version of their figure. That was the Legend scaled one, and it's just in the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 styled Optimus Prime color scheme. There are no other differences. He does not have a proton pack, which I think if you're gonna do the Ecto 1 feel to make it not just seem of a dirty kind of cheap grab, maybe make an Ecto pack for him. At least replace his gun with a different looking gun, so it looks more like a proton pack stick. I don't. What's the end called of the proton pack called? The bit where it emits from.
Streams?
No, not the because that's the thing that comes out of the hose, I suppose you could call it, but it's not a hose. Makes it sound like it's going around watering the ghosts. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I've honestly no idea.
No, me neither. We're not big enough Ghostbuster fans. So Mikey, what do you think of this? Because I will say right off right now, it's kind of uninspired and it feels kind of dirty.
Yeah, all of those things. I don't like the color choices in some cases. Like, I don't like the head at all.
Why?
It's just a grey slab. Like, if you're going to do it, make his head black. Or, like, white with green highlights, or red highlights, or green with red highlights, or green with white highlights.
Was his head grey? Like, for the proper Ecto 1 version?
I don't know if it was, but it wasn't in the comic.
No, I didn't think it was. He just had his normal blue head, didn't he?
Yeah, but
yeah.
This feels cheap. This makes me go, yeah, no.
Have you heard of Red Wing?
I mean, this is just like this is switch to blue and you've got an Ultra Magnus repaint, and I've got no love for those. No, I'm not a fan. I will honestly say I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, me neither. I get, like I say, I get it. It's you got the mold. It's Optimus Prime, so it fucking sells. So just keep churning it out to make money. But it just I don't like it because it's. I get really annoyed when it's constant repaints. Like, if it was a different character, if there was slight remolding done to it to give it a bit more value, then fine. But it's here's another one, and that annoys me. Mikey, I want you to tell me about this thing that isn't Unicron, that isn't promoted on the sites at the moment, and by that I mean the big news sites.
No, there are pre-orders up for this, and it did show up on Twitter, but it is suspiciously quiet.
Very suspicious.
On the Transformers news front.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that apparently Zeta Toys are back under a suspiciously not Zeta Toys name. Methinks someone found a loophole in a contract. So we've got 01 Studio doing their Cell figure. Not that Cell. This is a large toy, round in shape, with pointy bits. It comes with some kind of weird stands, for want of a better term, but they're kind of cones that also go on the shoulders of the robot mode. The head is totally what you see in this picture, and not untransformed. Yes, Zeta Toys Unicron has been revived. I suppose now that the actual crowdfunding is over and done with, it kind of makes sense you can get away with it now. But the promotional pictures are slightly hilarious, because it's basically just a partially transformed Unicron, so no one can technically say it looks the same. And the fact none of the news sites are reporting it is a little... Come on, guys. We're all friends here. I mean, it looks decently colored. I mean, I've seen people go like, "Oh my god, it's the best toy ever made!"
Whoa!
Screw you, Hasbro.
Whoa,
I've seen Hasbro used in a sentence.
A third-party company could put a screw online, and people would freak out about how Hasbro doesn't make screws as good as a third-party company.
And I'm just like, Hasbro doesn't technically make screws. But this is going to be available.
Pins.
Yeah. So this will be cheaper than the Hasbro one. I'm going to be that guy. It's going to be $360. Apparently, it's going based on the previous images that totally refer to a different toy. It will be more cartoon accurate, which is, I'm sure,
more
exciting.
More cartoon accurate than the Hasbro one, rather than the version that they totally didn't show earlier, I assume is what you mean, right?
Who knows?
Okay, that's fair.
These are unconnected.
True.
Okay, so here's an admission. I really like the robot mode they're showing.
I actually kind of prefer it, because it's different.
Yeah, it's got these big cone shoulders and a sort of generic Cylon head.
Yes.
I'd be really, I'd buy it for that, and then I'd be really disappointed when I realize that head is just an untransformed demon face.
I would like it if you could give him spider legs for his big ball mode with arms, and then attach two big googly eyes, so he has the big arms, the round body, and then spider legs, and then googly eyes. Yes. I think that'd be ace.
Or you could put a tiny Galvatron head in the top and have it be that guy from
Oh
Headmasters.
no! That would be great.
Yep. Basically all the things no one's going to do.
Pretty much.
So this is also, I think, smaller than the... smaller than the Hasbro one. It's 17 inches.
Oh no, I guess it's trash then.
Just over a foot tall, which could explain why it's that price.
It would also help for like display. I would say.
Well, a foot and a half tall. But
yeah, it's not going to be eating your entire house for space or shelf space. So I'd argue this is probably a more manageable figure.
Andy,
Mikey,
are you excited for this 1950s reject?
I wouldn't say it's a reject. I've always liked the Unicron design.
1950s, either reject.
Oh, I've always liked the Unicron design. The problem is they just don't ever do anything interesting with him. And I always feel they kind of just trout him out as this is the big thing. This is the biggest thing we can ever do now, and that's after we pull him out in a show. We've got nothing else. We've got nothing else. Yeah. I didn't have much interest in the Hasbro one. I didn't think the Hasbro one looked that good, if I remember what I said, which I don't really. This looks nice. Now we see it coloured, even though it totally isn't Unicron. I like the fun picture, the fun element of almost a big finger saying, "Go on, fuck you." So it's cute. It's cute, is probably what I'd say. I look forward to seeing it out, I suppose, and see the fan mod modes. Shall we say, to make him into a more TV screen accurate Unicron, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. The colours look really striking on it. It looks like they got the right orange, because I think I said when the other Unicron was out, I felt the orange was off. This looks like it's too deep. Better. Yeah, this looks like it's more the like orange juice lollipops kind of colour that he should be.
Yeah.
That's my way of describing colour, using treats. Iced lollies.
Iced lolly indeed, Andy.
Do we have anything else, Mikey?
No, that's it, I believe.
Alright, Mikey, let me tell you about a upscale Cheeto Masterpiece figure.
No, it's not! No! Oh, next person say that to me, get shaved!
Are you a shaver, Mikey?
I am running out of patience. That wasn't even funny when it started. Stop it.
Are people actually still doing it? Because I was doing it just to kind of tickle you, to brush you the wrong way. Oh no.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, this is the MP-50 Tigatron. We've got stock images of him screaming, and we also have some additional images and a release date. So, important information, release date is indicated at the moment. I'm sure it could change because we problems with the economy at the moment for some strange reason. Who knows why? September 30th of this year. So maybe not. Images. We also have a few of the accessories listed. So the cable he used to plug into the Death Side computer in Before the Storm. I don't remember that.
I don't. Let's be honest. It's Tigatron. What do we remember?
Yeah, he fucked Ares, probably, or she fucked him.
And the tiger.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Who he was genetically identical to.
Did that mean he kind of fucked himself?
And died.
I don't know what that means. I don't think I should question this. I think it's
they said, they made a point of saying it was a female tiger. So hey, lesbian robot tiger, gender cross tiger. I don't know.
I just mean that he fucked something that was technically related to him.
Technically himself, because
yeah.
So or himself, herself. In that case,
people be like, they didn't actually fuck Andy and Mikey. It's like,
yes, they did.
You don't know.
They really did.
If we go to Tumblr right now, I guarantee you there will be evidence to prove the other.
Even now, in Tumblr, it is hidden.
They know. There's alternate eyes for the beast mode. Was this for a particular episode, or was this just animation error?
When he transformed, the eyes on the chest were always different.
Oh, okay.
They were a different color. Also, the eyes move in this one.
Ooh, creepy. Interchangeable faces, including a shouting expression, which looks more like screaming.
Yeah.
Or does it mean for the tiger? What does it mean for both?
No, it's for the robot mode. Because it's like,
that's... Shouting, at least when someone says to me shouting, it kind of denotes anger. Yeah. This is much more screaming.
Yeah, the tiger has got a movable mouth, so it doesn't really do anything.
Slightly movable. It's just kind of meow. It's definitely a Mao kind of possession. A Megatron head, reference to the cube puzzle in the computer.
I'm assuming that was in Before the Storm 2?
Where is that head? Oh, no, there it is.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
weird.
that's weird.
I don't I don't know enough. Like, Tigatron's one of those characters who never stuck with me. And these are accessories I feel would be really hard to actually use.
I'm trying to think of what it could reference to the cube puzzle in the computer. Oh, I remember. This is where, like, Tigatron was hacking into the computer system and there was a Rubik's Cube and he Rubik's Cubed and it was Megatron's head. Do you remember that? I wouldn't blame you if you didn't.
No, I don't, I'll be honest.
Yeah, you'll have to trust me here. He was doing a virtual thing, and for some reason to hack the computer, there was a Rubik's Cube version of Megatron's 3D head, which he just span around until it got to his normal shape. Hacking, in the 90s. It all makes sense. I don't know why you just, like, a severed Megatron head seems weird.
I just can't think of what you'd give Tigatron for accessories, and honestly. Like,
less things, so then you can lower the price.
True, but at least these aren't like trailers or anything massive.
Yeah, maybe expressions for other characters? Bulk out some other characters with better things? I don't know.
More faces or movable?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. And the other thing that we see is him kind of stood next to Cheeto, who is a small boy. Then he's in the middle, and then he's not as big as Dinobot, who's a big, thick boy with two C's. Mikey, what do you think of Tigatron? You just mentioned that he never stuck with you as a character, but do you think this is a fairly successful as a masterpiece toy?
I remember his voice a lot better than I remember the character.
I think that's fair, yes.
The robot mode is looking fairly standard. I mean, it looks like it transforms mostly the same as a Cheetor. Clearly, there are some differences with what happens with the Tiger head. It's the beast mode that's kind of getting me, because I think that's kind of what's screaming, what do you mean I'm an upscale? Because it just looks way more posable than anything Cheetor had. And I really like how just chunky it is. Like, it's a really good version of the character model, and it's got very little obvious kibble. Like, a bit in the inner thighs of the hind legs, but compared to what we usually get, which, we're bound by physics, there's only so much they can do.
Sure.
I think this guy turned out really, really well. It looks a lot better than Cheetor.
Yeah, I was going to say...
not an upscale of.
Yeah, I think it helps that because he's a tiger, he's allowed to be a little bit porkier. I will say that the image of him rearing up on his back legs, to me, makes him look like one of those slightly obese cats that get stuck in the cat flaps. It's just something about that angle and the way they've done his underbelly that just make him look chunky. He's a chunky boy. But yeah, it felt fairly decent. It does exactly what you would hope he would do. I do like the fact that in robot mode, he has a very clear difference between his fur color white and his robot white, because the robot white is kind of done in this, I guess, kind of pearl white, while the tiger fur is done more in it seems like a creamy, darker, more obvious kind of white, which is nice. So there's some distinction there. What do you think of Screamy Face, Mikey? You into it?
I'm trying to remember the context. Was it significant at one point that he did that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did Scream, and it was a big thing. I'm sure.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm saying I'm sure. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm minorly sure. Mikey, do you want to tell me about the resurgence of better paint jobs potentially?
No.
Damn boy,
because I don't believe that's happening. But hey, we've got Earthrise Deluxe Smokescreen and Skylinks images via Amazon.jp. So this is showing the new molds that are coming out. It's showing all of Skylinks' modes, including the fact he's coming with various effect parts, including a little blaster piece that goes into all his mouths, and a rocket blast thing if you want him to be rocket blasting. We also have Smokescreen showing off a bit of his posability, showing he has very chunky feet.
Yes.
The chunkiest. It's not really changing my opinion of the toy. Hey, we don't have the annoying battle damage,
No.
which is good. But yeah, like it's kind of highlighting like there's just some design choices on Skylynx I'm not liking at all, like how they did his teeny tiny feet.
Hey, you mean the links, the sky part of the links
Yeah,
part?
his teeny tiny feet.
Okay.
And I'm not crazy about how they did the feet on the Lynx either. They don't look like claws
Oh no, he just looks like he's got blue shoes,
or
like
treads.
loafers.
They look like, yeah. You know, the figure is all about the Skylink combination, so if you're into that, I'm sure you'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Smokescreen looks fine. I mean, did you buy the last one?
I didn't, but people did.
Well, here's the same toy, but more blue.
Earthy. Oh, see, I would have said more earthy.
I was going to say more blue because less paint damage.
Sure, yeah, that's the thing.
And cheaper looking guns.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts, Andy?
My takeaway, at least from these images, is it looks like, no guarantee, of course, but these images look different from the images we've seen from Hasbro.
They look less photoshopped.
Yeah, I see. That's why I don't know whether it means Japan's gonna do more of its own color schemes, like pink Alicons. That's why it made me think. Does this mean we'll have slightly different very slightly different color schemes for Skylynx and for Smokescreen? Are they going to be more saturated? Because it kind of looks like that. I don't know. Otherwise, these are not characters I care about at all. I aggressively don't like Skylynx as a character. The toy looks fine. Even I've never been a big fan of the toy. I've never thought Skylynx looked cool either. But I've always been aggressively distasteful of the character.
Yeah.
So no one's ever changed my mind on that. Because I hate arrogance, and that's what he is. So like, ugh.
What do you think of the launcher mode?
It's all right. It's okay. It's not the most interesting. It's probably one of the better base modes that we've got with these leader-styled figures. Like, Shockwave clearly doesn't have one, as far as I'm aware. Prime definitely... Like, his trailer doesn't do shit.
No.
I heard somebody say, wouldn't it have been nice if his trailer unfolded and it was actually like a small Micromaster base, like a prop... Like, it didn't look like the innard of the G1 trailer. It had, like, a small buildings and stuff for Micromasters to interact with.
That's not G1.
I know, but wouldn't that have been better? Because it would have been interactable with all the other bases.
It must be G1.
G1. Astro Train. Fuck. I don't know. He doesn't do anything.
You've got a square.
He does stand on a square. So, if we're comparing, like, launch bay modes, Skylynx is, like, a 10 out of 10, while Astro Train's, like, a 2. Like, he brought a box to stand on, and that's why he doesn't get a 1. So, but it's still not... To me, it's not amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shall I move on, Mr. Mikey?
Yes.
Okay, bad news, or unfortunate news this week, as unfortunately, the G1 writer and writer of many, many a thing, Mr. David Wise, has unfortunately passed on. He wrote episodes like The Key to Vector Sigma, The Secret of Omega Supreme, The Rebirth, to name a few of his many contributions to 80s cartoons, but one of the other things he did as well was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this guy's worked on a lot of stuff. I did unfortunately see a post that showed more of his work on Transformers, and I went, oh, probably don't mention that one, or that one, or that one, or that one, because they were bad episodes. I think he did The Girl Who Loves Power Glide. That's like, oh, don't remind people of that.
I like how she bounces in that. I like that she bounces.
Yeah. He did the racing one, Grand Prix, or something like that. That was a pretty trashy episode. And there was another one as well where I looked at him and went, oh no, he did that one as well. Oh no. But he did a lot of good ones as well. So, it's a shame. but that's time passes on, and these things will happen. I'll take the last story as well because it's a quickie. TFCon Orlando 2020. We have James Reyes announced as a guest. He did artwork for Optimus Prime, Unicron, Lost Light, More Than Meets the Eye, and lots of other not G1 comics, IDW comics. So if you want to go and say hi to him, buy some artwork and all that kind of jazzery bobbins, you can do that in technically a few weeks' time, as March 20th is rolling up real quick. Mikey, do you have anything else newsworthy-wise?
No, for it is a quiet week.
Super quiet. Super duper quiet. So, Mikey, where... I was going to end the podcast there.
Bye-bye!
What you been up to this week? What you done for fun?
Little bits and bobs. Rider still hasn't been translated. There's a new Sentai after starting, but I'm not sure I'll really bother this time round. I mean, I tried.
Did you finish the last one? Because you kind of liked bits of it.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten past the first 10 episodes of a Sentai in years. Absolutely years.
Okay.
Like the closest I got was Zyuohger, and I never got to the end of that. It's just
same.
I don't know, like just the tone of Sentai is something I feel I've grown out of.
I think it doesn't help that it feels more plodding. Like there's not a lot of story that's developed. It's like Rider is Monster of the Week, but there's always context behind it, and there's always progression. At least for me, Sentai always feels like it's Monster of the Week, but it's just that. Apart from when they push a new toy.
Yeah, I feel it says a lot that Rider usually has 2 fight scenes, a couple of minutes long.
Sure, yeah.
Sentai, usually at least half the episode is fight scenes. So if you want to see, and they usually have a lot of choreography in their fight scenes, so if you want to see that, or you want to see the suit battles, that's great, but narratively, it's been a good long while since one stood up.
I think you know what makes us sound old is the fact that doesn't interest us because there's no... It's just fighting for the sake of the spectacle, more so than like a reason for it in a lot of ways. Like there's no like emotional like, oh shit, we need to do this for this reason. It's just like, it's a monster. Beat him up. Beat up those putties who you beat up every week anyway. Yeah.
But by God, back in my day, we had the Tyrannosaurus doing the dance, and that was fine storytelling.
Technically, back in our father's day, they had children being eaten by sink monsters.
Back in good old times in Father's time.
Yes.
The sink ate you, and you were grateful, because it meant you had the water.
Granted, in our father's times, they didn't get Rangers either, because it hadn't been translated over here. But,
true.
Jetman existed, just not over here.
We didn't know at the time.
No. How many people died in that show? So many.
Damn.
So many children died in that show.
To be fair, like 90s, especially late 80s, 90s Sentai is something else to watch.
Oh, it is,
like,
totally.
The shits they did not give. Like Zyuohger is probably one of the softer ones. Or no, Ranger I was thinking of, not Zyuohger.
Yes.
But so might tried, might not. But haven't found much in the way of animation this week to watch either. I watched Set on Academy, but I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
I start just because it's been on my brain a bit lately. I started rewatching Digimon Adventure in the sub,
the OG one.
Yeah.
Is this to prepare you for the? Is it fair to call it a remake?
There's a full reboot.
It's a full reboot. Okay.
Yeah. I saw the trailer for that, and the animation looks very good. I'm just hoping I am hoping against hope it's not going to feel as toy advertisement. Just because if you're if you keep sticking to the adventure rules, you don't really have that many toys to advertise.
It looked very different from what I remembered normal Digimon to be. Are they sticking to the same story? Do you know?
We don't know. It looks like it's going by the trailer. It looks like the story is going to be more about them them existing in the real world and traveling into the digital world.
Right.
Which is something that has happened a bit more as the series went on. Like it sounds a bit more like Atman, but Atman would have Ultraman length transformation scenes, which was a struggle. And it was written a lot younger than Digimon Adventure was originally.
I can believe that, yeah.
Because the Digimon Adventure was a children's show, but it was written like what the strongest thing about that show is the fact it spent so much time on actual like these are things that real people have to deal with. I'm hoping we get a bit more of that because it's a reboot of Digimon Adventure, and they just say, "Hey, what if we had like really good animation now?" Because they've got a budget finally. But I'm probably expecting something with a lot more gimmicky feel to it.
Okay.
But we'll see. But what I did do, because of that, I ended up rewatching most of the movies. So the first movie, which is Digimon Adventure, the OVA. Then there's Our War Game, which is the one that has Omnimon in it.
Which is the one with the rabbit that isn't Digimon that they classed as Digimon?
That
Do you know the one I mean?
Yeah, that is the goal. That's the 02 movie.
Okay.
So that's
because it was never Pokemon. Sorry, it was never Digimon, was it? It was just kind of appropriated as such.
No, it was if you're talking about the one I think you are, that is Digimon.
It's a rabbit with like a life preserver on. It looks like Marty McFly.
Rabbit with a life preserver.
Yeah.
Rabbit with a life preserver.
Yeah.
Like Digimon has a rabbit Digimon in that in the 02 movie.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them actually, but I'm trying to remember rabbit. Like the Gargomon he's got a bandolier. And he's got guns for hands. Is that the one you're thinking of?
No.
You've lost me now. Rabbit with a life preserver.
Oh, I found him. Let me send you the.
Is it Bucky O'Hare?
From Summer Wars. That's what he is.
Oh, Summer Wars. That's no. Like so, the Omnimon movie is done by the guy who animated, and I think he wrote Summer Wars as well.
Oh, see, I thought there was a Digimon movie that just appropriated that.
No,
and just went, okay, this is Digimon.
Summer Wars is just very similar to Digimon because of the same creative talent. But that's a really good looking movie. So is the Omnimon movie stands up fairly well. It's interesting watching it subbed how little was actually changed, considering how much was usually changed. And it's really interesting watching the 02 movie, which I've never seen it subbed before. I didn't realize how much of it was trimmed out. Like, you've got half an hour of it extra than what we got when they combine them all into Digimon movie. And it's way darker than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's kind of Eva-ish at times.
Oh, in the good way or in the bad way?
In the visual way. Like, I'm not crazy about the story, but the story's got, like, bloody Daisuke as the main character, and I can't stand him. He's almost intolerable. But the story's a lot of quite, for this kind of thing, quite graphic violence and some real freaky imagery. And they play out, like, in the American one, they've got, like, these hyper rock tunes for fight scenes. In this one, it's circus music. Because they're playing up the fact that the bad guy in Telemon and Cherubimon, they're partly based off of clowns. So all his music is kind of jingly. So and like there's like I spotted a lot of little bits of extra scenes that there was an edit here in the American one to cut out the bit where he slammed 2 people's heads together and bits of their skulls popped off. So yeah, like interesting. And also something you realize when you watch the Japanese version of the Digimon series, there's so much less talking. There's so much less talking. They really tried to fill that space in the old American approach, but that got me again playing Digimon Hacker's Memory, the sequel to Cyber Sleuth, which is a good game. I've mostly been grinding because I've been playing it on and off, and I somehow, about halfway through the game, now have most of the absolute best megas in the game. Because of some stuff like basically I accidentally ended up finding a way to not cheat the system, but it basically really, really easily get any mega I wanted. Mm-hmm. And now I've got loads of really powerful ones. I'm just like, I've still got a lot of game to go through.
Would you say it's as good as the previous one?
I don't think the story is as good.
Okay.
I think the story is good, but I don't think it stands up as well, at least not so far. Nakia is in it quite a bit, which I like a lot because it's Nakia. But she's like, because this is parallel to what was already going on, her main focus is on the Cyber Sleuth story, so she's popping in and out.
Have they refined the gameplay at all?
No, it's basically identical.
Oh, okay. I thought they might have like tweaked the system just a little bit.
It's JRPG, strict JRPG.
Okay.
Turn-based. Like, if you like turn-based, you'll like it. If you don't, you don't. But the big thing this week was the Final Fantasy VII demo downloaded.
Never heard of it.
No, you see, then there was this game back in day.
What's this accent you doing? What is that?
I don't know. I think it started as Bill Cosby and morphed into something else.
Oh no.
As did Bill Cosby.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so the demo for the remake dropped this week. It's about an hour long if you get into everything.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's the so this is a demo of the game from an earlier build than the one we're getting. So there's cutscenes and everything else that aren't there.
Yeah, the like streamers and stuff who played a demo like a month or so ago, and it was a newer build than the one that we got, which is fair enough.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
I suspect this demo was done months and months ago.
Oh, probably. I think this was I don't think it's the exact E3 demo or whenever people got to play it originally, but I think it's close to that.
But yeah, so it's the bombing run, the original bombing run for Reactor 1 in Shinra, or in Midgar rather. Excuse me, I've got a bit of heartburn.
Oh no.
I'm dying. Yeah, you play as Cloud and Bart. Yeah, and it gets you down to grip. I think the writing is real solid. They've basically taken all that was there, and no line is identical, but every line is still in the same spirit. Mm-hmm. I think I've seen people complain about the English voice acting. I think it's good. This is me saying that, hypercritical dub suck kind of guy,
From what I've seen, it varies. Like, when Barrett's given the speech about saving
I love
the planet.
that. I love that.
I really don't like the delivery on that because
I don't like the body animation on that.
No, both of those things. I think the animations almost not Sony. Who's DreamWorks? He over the top. And I feel that sometimes the voice kind of goes like that as well. But I guess that kind of makes more sense because he's making a speech. But it's that specific part where I'm like, ugh. And again, a very minor thing, the grunts. The grunts feel very much like just randomly someone will go, ugh. I'm like, that's not how someone grunts. No one goes, ugh. Like, it's really a really, like, it sounds like an audio clip of do a grunt, do a sigh. And they've put that in. It does. It feels too bombastic. It feels too intense, and that's a very minor nitpicky thing.
I don't know. I haven't really noticed that, but I've been. I think playing it, I just haven't been focused on people's grunts. If you know. What I mean.
No. Yeah. Of course.
But so I like the voice acting. I think it stands up.
It's not as terrible as it probably. I assumed it was going to be fair.
But to be fair, again, I'm saying this as I'm basically saying the response to hearing we're doing an English dub from either of us is usually like, so great, can I change the audio?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And you can, by the way.
I'm not sure how you could play the game effectively and have it subbed.
Well, everything that is said is subtitled.
Yeah, but can you imagine trying to read the subtitles while you're doing a boss fight?
Yeah, no, I think Berseria had the same problem.
It definitely did.
So I had to. I think Berseria's got a solid dub as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but you on principle hate dubs.
I am Weeb Lord.
Weeb Lord,
my
Dark
Weeb level's
Lord
higher
of the
than
round-eyed people.
I've got a higher Weeb level than Mikey.
You've got a different Weeb level than Mikey.
That sounds sinister. I want to know what your higher leveled in Weeb lore is.
I don't know. I saw Body Pillow today. I'm just like, would I?
Oh, who was it?
I'm not telling you.
Oh,
actually,
no!
I don't know.
It was an Aqua. Is this going back to our conversation last night
Aqua
of your
is
garbage
fine.
wife?
Aqua is not a problem.
That is not true at all. Aqua is the problem.
No, Ainz was the problem and Aqua solved it. Am I wrong? Yeah. But the big thing, so the story, I was already invested. It did make me really realize, because I've been purposely avoided replaying because I don't want to bias myself.
When was the last time you played it? Out of interest. Okay, so it's still somewhat fresh in your mind.
Oh yeah, but wow, they really do throw you straight into the story in Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah.
There's no and build up like you would in every other RPG. It's just nope, off you go.
Yeah.
which I like a lot. But the animations are real solid. The gameplay was the thing to get to really try and see what that's like. I am very pleased to report I think it's pretty solid. It's simple at the moment, but from what I understand, it's going to expand a lot as you get into it.
Apparently, Tifa has a stupid amount of things
Yeah,
she can do.
Tifa is the Dante of this game.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like, oh my god, what button do I press? But I
think she was described as the highest damage dealer potential
yeah,
as well,
but
which is interesting.
I think she's not the best damage taker.
No.
Which means, like,
yeah,
which makes sense. It's
Barrett's
Tifa.
low damage, but high tank. Cloud is balanced, and Tifa's just like, I'm a glass cannon. Don't touch me. But
and
I will
Eris
touch
is
you.
like, magic, 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 run away!
Weeping.
But I think it's a pretty solid. There is a light combo element, and there are elements in this demo that are there to be discovered.
Yes.
In terms, a couple of them, not a huge amount, but a couple. But really, the base combat is there to build up your time gauge so that you can use special abilities and magic. So I heard someone say it's basically a turn-based Japanese RPG, except they give you something to do in between turns. And I would agree with that. And absolutely fundamental to the gameplay of this game is switching between your characters. If you don't switch to a character, they will not use a special ability. So you either have to give them an order or switch to them directly. I always switch because I let me do repositioning and stuff like that.
You
but
can
you are
set the behavior though, can't you?
No.
No, I'm sure you can set.
You can
the
set
behavior to do
shortcuts.
stuff.
But no, you can set shortcuts for, like, if you hold the L2 for shortcut buttons, but I did not find anything in the demo I was playing that let you assign, like, use magic. It's not like that. It's not like Berseria. It's not like Final Fantasy 12.
See, I heard the real reason to switch between them was to get their ATB gauge up faster, because when you're not playing as them, it goes at like a fifth at the speed. But if you select them, it
goes
builds
slower.
a lot faster.
It does go slower, but I think that's basically because you're not using certain moves.
Okay.
Like with Barrett, your ATB gauge, if you're not playing as him, is going to go up a lot slower because you're not using Overcharge, which is his special move. And I think that's why it's moving slower, but there is no, okay, here, build your ATB gauge, use a special move, if damaged, use magic. There's nothing like that. It just, you have to switch between Barrett to get his abilities going. You have to switch to Cloud to get his abilities going, to make sure he's in the right position, because positioning is everything in the boss fight. You have to remember to dodge. You have, like, very intense. And the boss fight is a bitch. Certainly the first time through. I think just because you've learned all the controls or at least most of the controls, the second run through of the game is a lot easier. But still not easy. Like, I found myself getting the Scorpion boss fight, like, I've come close to dying more than I ever expected to. Yeah. I ran out of potions once, and you get a lot of potions. But no, I really enjoyed the battle system. I'm hoping the additional content stands up. And yeah, that was really it for me. Not a super busy week. Andy, what about you?
I haven't played the demo yet, but I've watched a few people play it and talk about it, and because every fucker who's playing video games at the moment has a let's play of the demo. It's
including the voice actors.
Oh god, really?
Or at least the voice actor for Eris. She has a gaming channel.
Oh really?
So she's like, apparently she's been a gamer for years, and like, this is her big voice acting break, and she's just like, I'm playing it, I'm not in this one.
I was gonna say, bitch, you shouldn't be playing this game, you're not even in it.
Oh, I don't know, like, the ones who did Nier, they had two of them. They've got a Twitch channel, and they did a playthrough of Nier, which was apparent. I saw clips from that just because it was bits they hadn't read in the script, which, like, what happens to baby heads. And they just went, oh no.
Yeah. I have downloaded the demo, but I have yet to play it. I will play it at some point. I am mildly concerned it's going to play too much like Berseria for my liking.
No, I don't. Having played it, it plays like a Final Fantasy in most ways, more so than 15. I
am concerned though it won't gel with me. And it's one of those things where I won't. And even with the demo, I'm not sure it's a complete fair representation of it, because it's not the full. It's obviously not going to be the full system. That's too much to ask for. But because Tifa has so many options, versus Barrett, who's got like he can do like fucking nothing during that first boss fight, and Cloud, who can do very little. I'm interested to see how manageable it will be. I'm sure it will be. It's just a learning curve, but it's. I forced myself through Berseria because that game just never sank well with me. It was more of a struggle to get through to the story part than actually enjoying the gameplay. So I did that. I watched Castlevania Season 3 this week, which I would say is Season 2, because Season 1 is 4 episodes, which I would argue is a pilot. A proof of concept. So Season 2 is what I'll call it. Was really good. It was another good season. It's less focused than the previous season, where they were after Dracula. This one, it's more like they have their own individual stories, but they don't ever come together. They are just happening. So it's not bad at all. My favorite episode was episode 6. By the end of it, there's a really fascinating conversation one of the Forge Masters, who's the guy that makes demons, has with a demon. One of the few that can talk, and he has this really unnerving conversation with him about why he went to hell, and what it's like to be a demon now, and does he remember being a human? And the way that this thing is drawn, it's very much insectoid, but it has like, instead of a mouth going sideways, it's a mouth going vertically, but then grab those lips, pull them apart, and then you have the human teeth in the middle kind of moving up and down. So seeing this thing animate and talk, and then what it's saying as well was really, really interesting. I thought, to me, that was easily the best part of this season. I'm sure other people wouldn't find it maybe as interesting as I did, but I was like, man, this is really cool. So I did that. Highly recommend it. Castlevania is still hella worth watching, hella worth investing into, especially as one of the shows from the West that, you know, I don't find there are many Western shows that are worthwhile watching, at least in my opinion. This is one of them. So I did that. I did Senton as well, which was it was an okay episode. It was very much like the previous episode. It wasn't one of the best ones. Is that fair to say?
I liked it a lot more than the last one.
I liked one of the stories more than the last one, and I think the reason I didn't like this one massively was because it very much felt like 2 manga chapters. As there was a first half of the story with a, what kind of animal was it? Mikey?
Trying to remember. Oh, a tarsier.
A tarsier. That was the fun part, and then there was a typhoon episode where the president learned that it's fine. She's the one who's interacting with most species more than anyone else, and I was like, oh, that's fine. Wasn't great. But the previous thing with her being introduced to a group and her killing herself because she's stressed. I didn't know that those animals did that. When they get stressed out, they'll hit their head against a tree and kill themselves. Yep. That's incredibly bleak. What a horrible life.
What about King Gun?
You mean right at the very end, the last few seconds? That was interesting. That's a nice setup for a future episode.
He's in a tournament.
Whatever that means.
A tournament arc.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what that is.
So he can shag someone.
Yep. Yeah, he's gagging for it too.
I did it won't take very long. Lion's made for 20 seconds. However, they will do it 50 times a day. It will take a long time.
Yeah, then he said for a second time, it won't take a long time. Narrator, yes, it will. Yeah. So, that was a fun bit. But I didn't. It's not one of the stronger episodes, but it was better than the ocean episode. I will give you that. It was also nice that Miyubi had something that she could do, and also someone she could die with. Yeah,
she made a friend.
Yeah, over dying constantly.
And then she slapped her.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And Jin, I like Jin's fantasy of imagining becoming the school president, banning all of the animals, sending them home, and then a poor ranker comes out of the woods and he gives a bone to her as like, ha ha ha, there you go, tiny animal.
I'm just going to point out, she's even in his fantasy, she's still there.
Yes, but she's also not there primarily. or she's someone to technically be shat on by him, in a sense. But yeah,
he wouldn't do it in real life. He'd get upset.
He wouldn't.
He's a softie.
Yeah,
he's bitter, but he's a softie.
he's very bitter. So what did you think? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought the president one was the weaker element, but I did enjoy the general. I liked the tone of it. And I did wet myself slightly at the end, where he's trying to make her wear clothes, and she's just screaming, "Pervert!"
Yes, yeah, and all the girls come in while she's completely nude, and he's trying to dress her, and she's like, "No, I don't want to. No means no." It's like, no, it's really not what it looks like. Do you think they ever? This is the thing. Do you think they ever apologized to Jin? Because I bet they tore the shit out of him, and he was not in the wrong.
Yeah, and one of them can lift a oven above her head,
and one can squish a melon with one hand with ease.
Imagine what she could do to him.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
Yeah, still fun, but not one of the best ones. Did it get up to anything else? I've been watching DS9, which we talked about at the beginning of the show. I watched what episode is it? Episode 19 of Fate Grand Order. We're getting right close to the end. Still really good. It kind of rushed through quite a lot in this episode. Kind of shit gets really intense by the end, and the stakes keep going up, and they kind of the way that they did the cliffhanger for 18, they kind of wrap up that cliffhanger before the intro sequence. So it was less than a minute, and they was like, okay, this section's done. Move on to next kind of upscaling. It's still really good, though. I'm still impressed with how they've managed to convert this over. I can only imagine we've only got a few more episodes left in this, because there's really not much left. So I don't know what they'll do, because there's one more singularity they can do, and I don't think they can fit it into this. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll be like, oh, we'll do 26 episodes and we'll just finish off the main story of the game. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, no, we'll just finish this part of the story off. I don't know. We'll see. It's still great. Still really like it.
Yeah.
And I got Darksiders Genesis as well. Do you know Darksiders, Mikey?
I know of.
Yes. Do you know? Have you heard of Genesis, the newest one?
That's new to me.
Right. This is right. One bad thing about the Darksiders series, which I don't know whether you agree with me here, Mikey, is after the first game, they've made no sequels to the story.
No, that's true.
Because I don't know where 3 takes place, to be honest. That's the only one I'm not sure, because I haven't played it. I don't know where that takes place. 2 takes place slightly before and concurrently with the first game, and Genesis is a prequel.
Which is the one I've played? I've played 3.
You played the one with Fury, the one with the lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's parallel to 1, I think.
Oh my god.
Because
move the story along.
Because I think in the idea they're trying to show where every horseman was in each game.
Maybe. Well, they haven't done that with fucking Strife. Because, like I say, this game is a prequel. It is a top-down view, very much to Diablo, but it's very much a Darksiders game in how it plays. It's exactly like that. The difference is you can switch out between War and Strife. Strife plays more of he plays more like a archer class in a Diablo game, like you stay away and you shoot, but he can do combos as well, and War plays like he did in the very first game. I'm playing as Strife just because I feel it almost kind of feels, from the enemy type, better to play as him. I don't like the viewpoint, the angle where the camera is, because it kind of pulls you out of the world, and it doesn't make me feel as connected or invested in the world, because I'm not like behind the character, I'm not in it. Though I understand it is a way effectively to do 2 things: to do a co-op mode, which you can do split screen co-op or do co-op online. And I think the primary reason is because it's a way to, I don't want to say cheaper now, but I think it does mean that you can make things cheaper than doing a full 3D adventure, for instance, because you don't need to worry as much about level design, in a sense, and you don't need to worry about high-res detailed textures, because, the camera's further away and all that jazz. I haven't gone too far in it, but it's still good. I'm still enjoying it. Luckily, it's only like 26 quid, so it is on a budget title as well. So if you're interested, it's nice and cheap for you. So yeah, it's fun, but it's not It's still not hitting the highs of 1. 2 was a bit more of a slump. I hear 3's not great, but I still want to get it at some point.
That seemed fun enough.
Yeah, it's just not meant to be as good.
The writing isn't anything fantastic.
Okay, that's a shame. I think the biggest selling point of the Darksiders series, at least for me, is the art style. It's McFarlane-y. And I like that kind of 90s McFarlane style. You could say World of Warcraft did that as well, but I would say they did that and then injected a lot of cartoon into it to make it less aggressive as an art style, I suppose. While Darksiders is much more in keeping with that kind of 90s big, beefy, extreme, I guess, aesthetic, which is quite cool, I think. And Strike's an interesting character. He's the jokey one of the 4 of them, which is nice because you got to have one jokey guy, especially compared to everybody else. Because I haven't played as Fury, like I say, but she seems to be an angry lady. Is that fair?
She does live up to her name.
Yeah. War is a very stoic, angry man, and if I remember correctly, Death is a very sarcastic, sardonic, angry man.
Yeah, I remember what little I've seen of him in the game.
Have you not played the other 2, Mikey, out of interest?
No. 3 was the first one I touched.
I'd give the first one a go at the very least. I mean, you can get it on the PlayStation 4, and it's probably cheap as chips, I would imagine, since it's a reissue and probably an upscale of some sense. So yeah, I'd say give it a crack if you were at all interested, young Mikey. We did also do a comic show this week, which will go up at some point. If you want, Mikey, you can get it on Amazon for £12.24.
Oh, that's very cheap.
And Darksiders 2 is £14.98. So that, again, is like super duper cheapo, if you were interested in them. But yeah, we did the comic show. I just need Mikey to get me the audio, and then that'll probably go up this week, I would assume.
You shall have it.
Whoop, whoop. And I think that's it. I do have a quick sort of question for you this week, Mr. Mikey. So let me just whirl it up. It's from Christoph, and it is Warhammer related, but it's for you, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, stay with me here once the actual thing loads up. Okay, right. With the new Seraphon Battle Tome coming out, is it time to trick Mikey into Warhammer? You can make a whole army of Stegodons now, but he is probably busy playing the Final Fantasy Remake demo. That was true. It's pretty fun, after all, and got me in the mood for JRPGs. So he started Digimon World Next Order for real. So far it's like the PS1 original and all that jazz. Yeah. And speaking of Warhammer, with the new-ish age of so-called prestige fiction TV, is it 40k's time to shine? Did you know about this, Mikey, that Warhammer 40k is meant to be getting some kind of live-action or CGI show?
I did not. I mean, it could work, but I'm also losing faith in television at the moment.
Yes, in all things, I would agree.
Yeah, because they are not making a good show of themselves. But I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Depends who's involved. Depends what the creative team is.
I hear The Witcher was good. I still have it to watch, but I hear that was good. So.
Still haven't seen that.
Oh, I thought you meant no, it isn't good. Okay. So, Mikey, can we get you tricked into doing Seraphon? Seraphon being, of course, lizard men. No. Lizard men, of course, being men who are lizards and also ride dinosaurs.
No.
Which seems strange. It would be like us riding gorillas and chimpanzees into combat.
Why not do that? But
that would be a bad idea.
I live in the middle of nowhere, so I would basically just be collecting tiny people to stick in a hole in my wall.
Now, Mikey, there was a man who told me that he might have convinced you to get some Insecticon cards from him.
That might be possible, but that's more just for my own benefit. Like, one day I will probably be in a situation to play that. I would have to actively go looking for Warhammer.
Yes, that's true.
And I'm not actively going looking for
And
Warhammer.
You'd have to paint it as well.
Yeah, I don't care. I might try to fiction at some point, but I just don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think it would be something you'd be interested in, to be honest.
Maybe
the fiction might be worth you cracking into. It's just very difficult to say this is a good starting point. There's no
just,
easy in.
It's just not me.
No, it ain't the Mikey way.
Mm.
And I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, and I don't think there is. Not of interest, not of worth of value that I've been up to. So Mikey, where can people find Joe or did today?
You can find me on Twitter without Pilio, and if you want to contact us, you can do it on Twitter and Facebook and email and Libsyn and everything, really. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. We live in a wonderful world where you can talk to anyone.
Yay! Why do you sound sarcastic when you say that, Mikey?
Me!
You.
Yes. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW. You can find me on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, and YouTube, and as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can also head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2 and do $2 each month for the extended versions from the Files of Teletran 2. You also get it a week early, and you also get the Moonbase Woo-Woo, where we talk about non-Transformer things, believe it or not, in more detail than we do here, even on shows when we don't have anything to talk about. You can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com for all the extra stuff that we are a part of, as well, if we're ever invited onto other shows, but we're not, because no one loves us.
No one loves you!
It's true. So thank you once again, Mr. Mikey, for joining me this week.
Thank you for having me. Also, we're thinking on it now, there's very few other shows going.
Really, what do you mean? You mean TV, actual TV shows or anime?
Podcast shows.
Oh, okay.
There's really not that many.
I don't think that's true. I think there are a lot of shows that we probably don't know about.
I mean, there probably are, but there probably aren't.
Who knows? Who knows?
I think we're special.
We are, but not in the good way. Not in the good way. Yeah. So until next week, everybody, we will catch you next time.
Take care, humans.